friends, can I please get a nice big thumbs up if everybody can hear me? Beautiful. I'm just going to be making my way out to the front of our boat here just because we have such a beautiful day, and I don't know about you, but I wouldn't mind a little extra time to work on my tan. Alrighty, my friends, now that we are out here and on our boat, how are we feeling? Are we all excited? Yeah! Beautiful. One more time, my name is Grace and I am your trip leader for today. We can also turn around, look up nice and high in the sky, and give Captain Jordan a nice big wave. Say hello. He is the one powering our here jet boat today. With not one, not two, but as we can feel, three from turbo diesel engines. Each one of these engines gives us around 700 horsepower each, giving us a total of 2,100 horsepower for my friend who asked, and 31,000 pounds of thrust. We are going to see how those bad boys like to work. Put some of those fingers in the air and spin them around like you just don't care. This is the signal for Captain Jordan that we would like to do our first little trick of the day. We like to call this one our beautiful turn. And here we go. Oh yeah! Can I please get a nice big round of applause for Captain Jordan? I was feeling a little toasty there, so that felt very refreshing. As we can feel, that was a nice big 360-degree spin. Because we have that nice flat bottom on our boat, as I was mentioning to us earlier, we are able to slip and slide right across the top of the water there, like it is nobody's business. We can also notice that I'm hanging on to this lovely little windshield here. You may think that this windshield is going to help keep the top of our dome dry, maybe. Definitely not. Instead, this windshield is especially engineered to work more like a shovel to pick up as much water from our Class 5 as possible and absolutely cover our dome here today. Now, if we take a look to the left and we take a look to the right-hand side of our river, we can see that our water is a beautiful blue-green color. This is due to the high dissolved mineral content in the waters below us. Believe it or not, the falls that we know and love them as today used to stand in this exact very spot of the river only a short 12,000 years ago. Since then, all of the water rushing over the falls has pushed it to where it currently stands today. This erosion will continue to occur about 1 meter every 5 to 10 years. But that erosion has so generously left us with this high dissolved mineral content, and when those minerals reflect off the sun, it gives us this beautiful color that our river is known for. We can look at the beauty of our river all day, but we can also look at some man-made structures. We're passing directly under the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge, or as my American friends like to call it, the Lewiston-Queenston Bridge. This bridge stands at a whopping 2 times the height than the falls themselves. We can now enter into the most electrifying portion of our trip, starting off with our first Canadian power plant on our right-hand side. This power plant was built in the early 1920s and goes by the name of Sir Adam Beck No. 1. Sir Adam Beck No. 1 was a great feat in technology, acting as not only Canada, but North America's first renewable energy power plant. With that being said, it still was the early 1920s, so the Canadians decided to build, and not so creatively named, our second power plant along our river. This one goes by the name of Sir Adam Beck No. 2, and it was built in the mid-1950s. Like any good set of siblings, these Sir Adam Beck twins worked together to power the majority of southern Ontario. That includes all of us down here in the falls, and all the way up to some of my friends in Toronto. Now, if I have the Americans on board with me here today, you guys will know that you like to do what you do best, and that is take the Canadians' idea and supersize it, which has led to your very own creation of a power plant. This one goes by the name of Robert Moses. Robert Moses was built in the mid-1960s, and emits about 2.5 times the amount of horsepower that both of our Canadian power plants put together. This, in theory, powers everybody in Buffalo, Lewiston, just across the border, and all the way down to my friends in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, these power plants are definitely a great feat, but if we took all of the concrete between all 3 of the power plants and combined it into one big pot, and then provide that into 1 inch by 1 inch cubes, you would actually be able to build a small pathway that would span the entire length of the globe about 3.5 times. We are now entering into the portion of our river which is home to our rapids, starting off with the cross one over there. As you can see, our mighty jet boat zooms right on over past that. We can move this up to a class 2 rapid, which is now be on our right. We can see as these Class 2 rapids are a little bit bigger, having that whitewater curl and crest at the top. I've seen a lot of rapids here on our water, so those Class 2s do not impress me much, so we are going to move up to subclass 3 rapids. And I think I'm feeling a little warm again, so maybe Captain Vernon will give me a nice little shower. Maybe not. A little sprinkle for us here as we are navigating our Class 3 rapids. And now I know those Class 3 rapids seem a little bit more impressive, so Captain Vernon and I are going to take us all the way up to some even bigger and better Class 5 rapids. Now our Class 5 rapids are located in an area of the Niagara River that we like to call our Devil's Hole. These Class 5 rapids will travel at speeds anywhere between 20 to 25 kilometers an hour and reach top swell depths anywhere between 6 to 8 feet. If we take a look to our left-hand side, we can begin to see the tail end of some of these bigger rapids. But if we look all the way up to the front of our boat, we can see where those nice big 6, 7, 8 foot swells will live for us today. It's amazing, my friends. Now that we have arrived here at our Class 5 rapids, I want to know, are you guys excited to head on in? Yeah! Of course we are, but my friends, before we can, there are a few more quick safety things that I am going to go over with us. The first of which is going to be our whitewater safety positions. So for us, that means our feet are going to be planted flat on the floor in front of us if we are able to reach. Our bums are going to be scooched all the way back in our seats, so we can sit up nice and tall face forward and hang onto that bar in front of us with both hands. Once again, this is your whitewater safety position. We will be in these positions the entire time we are going through our Class 5 rapids until at the very end when I ask you to give me a nice big thumbs up. You can give me a nice loud cheer to go along with it. That just lets me know that you guys are having fun and you are ready to rumble another round. Instead, my friends, if we find ourselves in medical distress, you are going to give me a nice big tap on top of the head, just like so. As well, sometimes with the rocking motion of the boat, sometimes people can feel a little nauseous or seasick. So again, if you are feeling any of those things, you just make sure to give yourself a nice big head tap. I will let Captain Jordan know, and I will come and assist you as soon as it is safe for me to do so. Now is the final chance that you will also have to put away any of your personal belongings with you into that black pouch in front of you. In a moment, we are going to be rumbling through our Class 5s. Now with my door all locked up, we are going to take our first little dive of the day. We like to call this one our Mickey Mouse run. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Woo! Big splash! Oh, I'm glad I came inside. And another one from the road. One last one. Alright, are you ready, my friends? How did that one feel? Can I get a nice big thumbs up? Yay! Beautiful, beautiful. Since we handled our practice run so well, there is only one way up from here, and that is up our Class 5 rapids. In order for us to make our next run of the day even bigger and wetter than before. Now in theory, there are many ways that we can get on the other side of our Class 5 rapids. We could go around them, but our boat doesn't have wheels. We could take a page out of the Titanic's book and go under them, but that does not sound like an ideal afternoon for anybody. So that is why we are going up and over them with a little move we like to call our pop, drop, and slide. We are climbing right up to the tippy top of that rapid with a nice big pop, dropping all the way to the bottom with a nice big drop, and push full throttle as we slide right on over. Pretty impressive, thank you. I mean, that is why they pay Captain Jordan the big bucks, and that's why they pay me the medium bucks. Because I'm pretty good at talking about it. Yeah. So my friends, we are going to do a nice big old U-turn to turn our boat around. We can use a little extra momentum. So leap left. And looks like we are all in our whitewater safety positions, so I love to see it. And I am pleased to let you know that we here at Whirlpool like to name or dedicate each of our runs throughout our trip. So, for our first run of the day, I think I'm gonna call this one the Adele, because Captain Jordan is gonna have us rolling in the deep. And about 3, and about 2, and about a 1. Big spot. Not too shabby. Now Jordan's scoping out another wave, and here we go. Woo! And one last one, kaboom. Alrighty, my friends, nice little shimmy and a shower for us on that last one. Can I please get a nice big thumbs up? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Because we all know that first wave run with such grace and such beauty, I think we have no other option but for us to go through one more time so that we can get another big taste of our white water for us here today. So just like before, Captain Jordan is speeding up our mighty jet boat for us here, taking us right alongside our Class 5 rapids. And we can also think of Captain Jordan as somewhat like Goldilocks. He is going to find a nice little rapid for us. Well, one that's not too big, one that's not too small, but one that's just right. As we come on up for our second hop, drop, woo, and slide. Before, now that we are on top of our rapids, we are going to do a nice big old Niagara U-turn to turn our mighty jet boat right on around. If you feel like giving Captain Jordan a little extra momentum, make sure you lean to the left, bounce, lean to the left, bounce, crisscross, bounce, bounce, crisscross. As we cha-cha real smooth right on through our Class 5 rapids. Now is the time for those whitewater safety positions. Thank you, my friends, for being in those safety positions. You guys are looking great in your safety positions. Yeah. For our second run of the day, because I'm in a musical mood, I think I'm going to call this one the Michael Jackson, because it's going to be an absolute thriller. And here we go, in 3, and 2, and 1. And I see Captain Jordan scoping out another few waves for us here as our friends on our yellow boat SM8 watch us by. Here we go. And we're just doing a nice little shimmy, navigating through our Class 5 rapids. Nice little splash for us there. One more splash to send us on home. Woohoo! Alrighty, my friends, how did that one feel? Nice big thumbs up. Awesome, awesome. because we have such a nice, hot, sunny, beautiful day, and because we are going to be en route to our Whirlpool, I'm going to give us a little taste of the fresh air we have today. Woo! Fresh air! Yay! We are going to be taking a break from our Class 5 Rapids, so do not fret, we will be staying nice and dry. The Captain Dirk is speeding up our jet boat for us to head to our Whirlpool, which is home to some even bigger and better Class 6 Rapids. So on our right hand side, as we are going to pass our friends on that nice big yellow boat, SM8, make sure to give them a nice big wave, say hello, give them a nice loud little cheer as we're going right on past. Seagulls! And here we go for another pop drop and slide. We are climbing right up on top of this rapid. You're going up just like gas prices. Dropping all the way down, just like my bank account this summer. And sliding right on out of here faster than I left my ex-boyfriend. And I'm like last time here, not turning around. Sorry, Mom. We, as I mentioned before, are now en route to our Whirlpool, but as we can see, Captain Jordan is navigating our boat over a lot of flat water. We may wonder how all this flat water could be turned into some beautiful Class 5 rapids. That is because our Class 5 rapids are known as a compression rapid. That compression rapid occurs when all this flat water gets pushed by the surrounding landscape, forcing all the water up and over on top of itself. And again, that creates our Class 5 rapids. So now Captain Jordan is allowing us to have a little fun in our flat water, doing a move we like to call our shake and take. We know it's Captain Jordan's favorite because he really likes to shake it. At this point in the trip, we can also see the Whirlpool Aero car going over ahead. This is a Canadian to Canadian round trip, and any patrons up there get a nice bird's eye aerial view of the waters down below. The Aero car has been running every single day, rain or shine, since 1913, which is just about how long our general manager has been operating our air depot. But since that Aero car has been running for so long, it's actually Niagara Park's longest running tourism attraction. We're gonna show off a little bit to our friends in the Aero car with our second Hamilton turn of the day. And you're excited to go, whoa! Whoa! Go, whoa! Whoa! Alrighty, my friends, can I please get a nice big round of applause for Captain Jordan? Now that we have moved into our Whirlpool here, Captain Jordan's going to find a nice little spot of flat water for us to sit back, relax, and hang out for just a little while. If you did bring any electronics with you on board here today, you can feel free to grab those out to grab any photos or videos of our white water ahead of us. I just kindly ask that we all remain fully seated. These rapids here, as I mentioned before, are a Class 6, making them some of the biggest in the entire world. Alrighty, my friends, I'm going to be joining us up at the front of our boat for one last quick second. Yeah. Alrighty, my friends, now that we have arrived here at our Class 6 Rapids, I want to know, do you guys want to head on in? Yeah! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. One last safety thing. Just make sure you reach underneath your seats, grab that white seatbelt out, and jump the single buckle in the middle. Have you been here before? Oh, okay. Yeah, my friends, there are no seatbelts. I got almost every single one of you. I can tell who's been here before. I'm telling you. So, my friends, we do not have seatbelts on our boats for one reason and one reason only, and that is because it is very illegal for us as a commercial vessel to go on through these Class 6 rapids. So unless you want to pay a hefty fee of $300,000 per person, that is not going to be happening. But I can let you know that these Class 6 rapids come from the falls themselves, another 4.5 clicks upriver and a few twists and turns later. All that fast we want to rush is behind me, reaching top speeds at about 50 kilometers per hour and top swelled ups at about 25 feet and hits the back of our whirlpool. And as I mentioned before, with the landscape, water knows no boundaries and it doesn't know how to turn. And for that reason, it will continue to bounce in a counterclockwise. You get the whirlpool motion, which is how these waters got their name. Now, if we take a look to the left and we take a look to the right-hand side of our boat, it almost appears like the water is bubbling or boiling beneath us. Trust me, it is definitely not that warm. But with all this fast-moving air getting trapped from our rapids and getting stuck about 150 feet below our waters, it will rush back up to the surface, reaching top speeds at about 40 miles per hour, creating these famous water boils. Don't be fooled by their gentle appearance. These water boils actually create a very strong undertow, which have the ability to pull down things like adult trees and cars, but don't worry, definitely not jet boats, and pit them at the bottom of our whirlpool for periods up to weeks, months, and sometimes even years. So although in theory, our mighty jet boat does have enough power to climb up those Class 6 rapids, coming back down with all that force would be a little bit of a tall task, even like a skilled captain for Jordan to navigate. Since we can't have any fun in these Class 6s, we are going to bring our boat back down to those Class 5s, and we can make up for my kinda mean seatbelt joke. Of course. One last fun fact as we are exiting out of our whirlpool here is that the water in front of us from these Class 6 rapids came off the falls only about a minute ago. So that just puts into perspective how fast the water is going through the falls, through our lower Niagara River, and into our whirlpool. Not like I want our trip to be over quite yet, but once you get back to our dock later today, make sure to look out at the flat water near our dock and try to see if you can see the current moving through it. Because believe me, even in the flat water in front of our dock, that current moves fast. Captain Jordan is just going to navigate us right on over some Class 4 bonus rapids. Hopefully he's not feeling too lucky here today as we glide right on over top of them, so that we can just keep this nice fresh air going a little bit longer. As we are coming back down to our top 5 rapids, make sure to keep a keen eye on our shoreline, both on the Canadian and American side, because this time of year we can often see lots of hikers or fishermen friends hanging out along the shoreline. For my Canadian friends, if we take a look to our left-hand side of the gorge and look all the way up, we can see a nice big brown roof that is known as the Niagara Glen Nature Reserve and Conservatory. And from there are about a half a dozen hiking trails, including the Bruce Trail, that span down the entire length of the gorge, coming down even to our beautiful waterfront. Since we are almost at our Class 5 rapids, I'm just going to be closing up our door, because we all paid for the dry adventure. We are in our whitewater safety positions, and for this last run of the day, I'm going to call this one seasonal allergies. And you might be wondering why, because we're going to go achoo. And just like seasonal allergies, I feel another sneeze coming on. Achoo. Achoo. A nice little shimmy as we move right on through. 2. Alrighty, my friends, can I please get a nice big thumbs up? Awesome, awesome. Alrighty, my friends, Captain Jordan has let me know that he wants to make sure you guys get the full experience of our trip here today. And that means one thing only, and that is by having some entertainment out in the front rows. So because we have a nice hot day here today, I'm going to sacrifice myself and sit in our wet seats for you, so you can go ha ha as I get soaking wet. So for that, I am going to throw up some tubes, head on out there, and you guys just have to promise me that you're in your white water safety positions, okay? Alright. with all of us here today. So from the most deepest part of my heart, as well as Captain Jordan's and everybody else here at Whirlpool, thank you guys for coming out and having a great day with us. Now, my friends, just as we are heading back to our dock, I'm going to kindly ask us all to remain fully seated. I will let you know when it's safe to stand. When we do begin unboarding our boat, I'm going to kindly ask that we go from back to front, just one by one, row by row, making our way onto our nice, big, beautiful dock. As well, my friends, I have been taking photos and videos of our trip here today. So if you wish to purchase any of that content, make your way over to that white boat with the tent on top of it in about 10 or 15 minutes, where my friends on our photo team will have all that fresh footage edited right up for us. As well, washers and change rooms can be found on that boat. If you did have a good time with us here today, always feel free to leave us a kind review on Google, TripAdvisor, Viator, honestly, whatever platform floats your boat. Once again, my name is Grace and I was your trip leader, and Captain Jordan was driving us here today. However, if you did not enjoy your trip, my name will be Trip Leader John, and that can still be Captain Jordan. We can throw him under the boat for that one. If you did bring any personal belongings on board with you here today, just make sure to grab those out, either in the back pouches in front of you or up below your seats. Once again, on behalf of myself, Captain Jordan, and everybody else here at Whirlpool, thank you guys for coming out and have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you!